This way is east. This would have been the way forward, where people would have come to these temples. But now look at it. The land isn't even. There's not even a hint of a clue that this was a well-trodden path or even a road. It is all gone. Now, I haven't been on the road for an awful long time. I have been absurdly busy. So let me tell you something. Oh, yeah. Putting this hat on feels really, really good. It's been months since I've been able to film that and the rainy season. So getting to see a temple again, I can't tell you what it means to me. I can't. But here's a question to open this video. Did you see the temple? I've already shown it to you. And it shows also how difficult it is to spot these things sometimes. So what I want you to do now is rewind the tape. Go back to the beginning. You remember that pan shot at the beginning of the road? I showed you the temple, and that is how easy it is to miss them. So back you go and look at that opening pan shot and see if you can see it, because that's all I get. Now, you got it as a slow pan shot. I'm driving on a bike at, let's say, 30-40 kilometers an hour. So I need to have a keen eye. Have a look, see what you find. Okay, back again. Good. It's not so easy, is it? Now, this temple is, well, there's two, but there was three, and it is absolutely fantastic. But there's not an awful lot to see. So I'm going to squeeze at least 2 temples into this video. I've got my hat back on. I've got my smile on my face. And right there is an ancient wonder. So there's where I walked in. And this is the way the ancients would have come. Nigh on 1,000 years ago. And this is all that's left. And I know somebody comes here, but hardly anyone does. It's usually a local old lady who will visit and place some blessings. But isn't it just magnificent? I haven't been to temples, as I say, for some time, and I can't tell you how much this is, I don't know, just taking me away. But firstly, I wish to go over here to this gate. Now, this video won't take long because I say there's not an awful lot to see. I say gate, of course I mean doorway, because once here was a building, but it's only this is left. Now, the reason I want to bring you here is for 2 things. Look, can you see here? There's once gentlemen. It looks like they're pulling on a rope, but that, I believe, would be the tale of churning the sea of milk. Up here we can see there was a figure, a priest most likely, and he's the last person here. Everything else has been looted and taken. But what we can also see if we return is the intricacy that once lay on this temple. Look at this, I'll put my finger there. The whole temple would have been, you know, festooned with this. And it's, to me, the details always show as to how much was spent on a temple. Now, if we move on to this central one, which is a lot taller than you may think, it really is quite the giant. But we need to go over here because there's something I want to show you. And when we get here, we get a clue. And that's what this is all about, you know, because I've searched all my specialist websites and the internet, and there's not one line of information on this temple, not a solitary word. So we have to fill the gaps. Right, have a look at this. Look at that detailing. I'll put my finger there so you can see how fine it is. It is absolutely incredible. And above it is like this leaf pattern, and all that is sort of like carved outwards. It's in a bas relief, and that is incredibly hard with stone. So what we do know by looking at this is this temple had an awful lot of time and an awful lot of money spent on it. So we return to the front. The old doorway is just there, and we were just here. And it's worth pausing for a moment in reverence. And there's a big problem with this temple. He is going to fall down. There's no two ways about it. Can you see that crack there? Let me move in. That crack is fatal. What he needs is to be bound with metal bands at the top, and it will save his life. So I don't know if I can get this video to someone to say, look, this temple's about to go. I sincerely hope so. But as always with temples, there's something different with each and every one. And through this doorway we go to see something quite incredible. It's the Pit of Doom. I am calling it. It is absolutely incredible. These things never come out on video, but I'm going to walk around here really carefully, because that hole there is exceedingly deep. Now, if I put my arm out and hover over, you might be able to see there's probably snakes in there. Snakes hang around in temples. Because people leave food offerings, you see. So the rats come and then the snakes come. But I've never seen a hole as deep as this. Remember, once stood here a god, and he would have stood here and looked down a road that is no longer there. So it's out the doorway, and look, offerings. Somebody comes here, but not very often, that's for sure. Maybe they just come on religious holidays. And here's our third and final. And if we just head to the side here as we conclude this video, we see yet again this masterful, and there's only one word for it, masterful detailing. It is staggering. I've seen hundreds upon hundreds of temples, and the vast majority don't have detailing as good as this. Now, what that tells us, very simply, as I said before, is a lot of time and money was spent on these. And you can imagine the detailing that was here, but has all been stolen. It would have been magnificent. And the reason they spent so much time and money on this temple was, of course, there was plenty of people around to support it financially. But look, not a solitary house. There's a few down this track, but everybody has gone. And these giants now just slumber alone in this jungle environment. Now, as we come inside, there's something in here that I wish for you to see. Look at these. Sorry, I'm actually just being savaged by red ants, and it really hurts. But I will continue. These are these small, like little ferns that grow, and it looks like a bonsai forest. It's so magical when one comes across these. And yet again, we see this pit where there was a huge statue by the looks, because why dig a hole this big if there wasn't a need for it? But here lays the enemy as well. Look at these roots. Can you see it going up and up and up all the way to the sky? Look how high it is. Now this tree root will get between these bricks, separate them, and the whole thing will come down. So there it is. Another fantastic temple that nobody seems to care for, look after. And maybe there's one old lady who comes to visit, but there ain't many, that's for sure. Now, I'm not the guy who just wears the hat and has the buckle. I also listen to the music. And there's a country and western song that says, I'm so happy I can't stop crying. And that's how I feel today. I honestly feel like bursting out in tears, because it's been way too long. And the peace and the tranquility and the natural beauty, the butterflies all around me, is just staggering. I could be walking in heaven with giants. And man, does that ever feel good. This has been Mr. B. As always, please like, subscribe and comment. And if by chance you could sprinkle a few coins my way to help me build this library, then the address is always the same. It's patreon.com/temples. Until next time, you be sure to take the very best of care.